Welcome to the Speak Her podcast with your host, Camille Essick, the podcast where innovators and creators connect. Let's get started.
Hey everyone, welcome back. This is Camille Essick. I'm the host of the Speak Her podcast. This is the podcast where innovators and creators connect. Be sure to get that notification bell and subscribe. Y'all, we continue to grow by leaps and bounds. I'm so excited. The fact that we're now streaming in 940 cities in 48 countries. We want to welcome Lehigh, Florida, Orlando, Florida, Columbia, South Carolina, and Jersey City, New Jersey. I want to thank everyone for tuning in. And now here's a look at a few stories that are impacting our community and our culture. Now, there's something that you do not hear every day, y'all. The youngest full-time teacher in America is 16 years old. That's right. So check this out. When COVID-19 epidemic caused many changes in its educational systems nationwide, so Sharia Muhammad's father decided to homeschool her until she was old enough to enroll in college. And so he said that he accelerated, she said she accelerated so fast, she was becoming more focused on important things like the ACT, writing college level exams, reading college level material, etc. And this is from Muhammad. Understanding how to reach a little bit higher than what the regular school system would have put her through. Now, the MBA student has also commented or cemented her place in history as the youngest Langston University graduate. She holds 2 associate's degrees and one from Langston and the other from Oklahoma City College. Despite her impressive 22 ACT score and a $3.2 million worth of scholarship offers, Muhammad acknowledges that she encountered a few hurdles when obtaining her college applications, as several universities did not allow 13-year-olds to enroll. So she was saying that there were many scholarships that she got, and they were like, well, technically you can have room and board. So she said while others specified she had to wait to enroll. And you can read more about this at the Grio.com. So we want to shout out and congratulate Shania Muhammad on her accomplishments. Now, a follow-up to a story that was taking social media by storm. Y'all, Carly Russell, who faked her Alabama interstate kidnapping, she has pled guilty. So, an Alabama woman claimed she was abducted during a stopping her car to check on a wandering toddler. She's pled guilty on Thursday to charges of giving false information to law enforcement. Now, news outlets reported that Russell pleaded guilty to a misdemeanor charge of false reporting to law enforcement and falsely reporting an incident. She was given a suspended 6-month sentence, which will allow her to avoid jail. She's been ordered to pay more than $17,000 in restitution. Now, Catherine Robertson, chief counsel in the Alabama AG or Attorney General's office, said that Thursday they were disappointed but not surprised that Russell did not get the requested jail time. Jessica Padaway, she has passed away from cervical cancer after receiving multiple incorrect medical diagnoses. According to People, Padaway's sister, Rainey Brown, confirmed her death via Instagram on Friday, nearly 9 months after the beauty influencer revealed that a doctor's misdiagnosed her with fibroids. KFF Health News reported that 12 million people have received incorrect medical diagnoses annually in the United States, with certain patients being at a higher risk. Like most diseases, Black women in particular are disproportionately affected by fibroids, defined by common growths in the uterus and cervical cancer. And this will also include PCOS or polycystic ovarian syndrome. Now, while fibroids affect 80% of premenopausal women worldwide, the National Library of Medicine notes that Black women are more likely than other women of other races to experience them. Now, clinical diagnoses indicate that estimated cultivated incidence of fibroids in younger women, in women younger than 50, is much greater for Black women than white women. Compared to other women in the United States, Black women are also at a higher risk of dying from cervical cancer. So it's very important, ladies, that you keep those annual appointments and checkups, because early detection is also complementary or goes along with prevention. So make sure you're keeping your annual exams, your checkups. If something doesn't feel right or if you see something, say something, please, ladies, notify your doctor or your OBGYN. Estate recovery has the potential to perpetuate wealth disparities and intergenerational poverty. This is according to Catherine Howard, a Medicaid policy director with the Blue Cross Blue Shield Foundation of Massachusetts. Now, in my home state, Tennessee, which recovered more than $38.2 million for more than 8,100 estates last year. Now, Amani, I hope I'm saying her name right, Fahmy, she found herself in a similar predicament after her mother's death in 2021. Now, as her mother's early onset Alzheimer's worsened, Fahmy, she continued to care for her mom. But in 2015, when Fahmy was diagnosed with breast cancer and needed a double mastectomy, she started looking at other options. Now, during this time, she hosted a meeting with her mother's home, in her mother's home with a local Medicaid office. Now, the representative told her to drain her mother's bank accounts. Money Malfay poured into assisted living facility payments for her mother, so her mother would have will qualify for the program. Now, she recalls being somewhat offended during the meeting after the representative asked her 3 times, "Is this your mother's home?" The representative, Malfamy said, made no mention that she'll be forced to sell the house to settle her mother's bill with Medicaid once she died. Now, Tennessee's Medicaid office says that she owes $225,000, and the state is seeking a court order that would require Malfamy to sell the house and pay up. Now, she's 42 years old and wants to pay what she can, but the house is at a particular pain point. Her mother, a Black woman, purchased her dream home in Knoxville after she won a landmark discrimination lawsuit against her former employer, Boeing, for paying her less than what her male coworkers received. Now, she fought hard for equal pay and equal rights. And just to see that ripped away just because she was sick and I'm sick is just absolutely devastating, Malfay said of her mother. You can read more about this at thegrio.com. For civil rights attorney and renowned social justice activist Bryan Stevenson, it's not enough to know the history of slavery and centuries-old struggles of Black people in America. He wants people to see it, feel it, and touch it. A new park in Montgomery, Alabama was conceived to do just that as visitors take on the breathtaking Freedom Movement Sculpture Park, which will be treated as an immersive experience along 17 acres along the Alabama River, which is primarily the route of transported African slaves during the slave trade. For Stevenson, the sculptures are essential. He says there's not much in the visual record of that era that helps you get a sense of humanity of these people, he said, but artists have done such an amazing job. This park will be in close proximity to 2 other creations by Stevenson, the Memorial to Peace and Justice, an open air site that features 800 columns suspended from above, invoking public square lynchings, and the Legacy Museum. A few miles away of downtown Montgomery, that site she uses interactive elements to tell the story of the devastation of slavery, Jim Crow, and violence, also mass incarceration. And you can read more about this at NBC Black. Anthony McLean would have been celebrating his 30th birthday today with his loved ones. Instead, he has passed away as a result of being shot in the back by a Pasadena, California police officer during a 2020 traffic stop. And we would like to send prayers to his family today as they honor Anthony. 4 years after Breonna Taylor's tragic death in a no-knock warrant raid by Louisville Metro Police, bipartisan efforts by Kentucky U.S. legislatures, Republican Senator Rand Paul, and Democratic Representative Morgan McGarvey aim to make some changes. Now, they're aiming to do this by enacting a national change. They're introducing the Social for Breonna Taylor Act. And with this, both Senate and House prohibit no-knock warrants inspired by the incident on March 13th, 2020, where Taylor, an unarmed Black woman, was fatally shot. This proposal requires federal police to announce themselves before executing warrants and mandates that state and local agencies receive federal funds adhere to this rule. Now, McGarvey highlighted that the high rate of failures on the night of Taylor's death, stating that so many things went wrong, ranging from problems with the warrant issuance to the flawed execution of the raid, marked by the absence of body camera footage and ambulance on standby. Now, the initiative follows Louisville's and Kentucky's post-incident reforms restricting no-knock warrants along similar actions in 29 states. Now, y'all, despite a previous unsuccessful attempt in 2020, Senator Paul believes that the bill, supported by figures including Senator Cory Booker, will pass due to bipartisan backing. The press conference announcing this move was attended by Taylor's mother, who expressed her gratitude for the effort to prevent future tragedies. This legislature push comes amid ongoing legal action against the officers involved in Taylor's death, with federal agencies laid for falsifying the warrant and related misconduct, though none were convicted for the direct killing of Taylor. Additionally, Louisville is negotiating a federal consent decree following the Department of Justice investigation into systematic violations with the constitutional rights by police force, particularly Black citizens. Now, we recognize the importance of such initiatives in dismantling the oppressive systems and advancing the cause of racial injustice. Let us stand in solidarity with Breonna Taylor's memory and continue the struggle for a future where no life is unjustly taken. And this and more can be read online with Know Your Rights, the Know Your Rights camp, which is founded by Colin Kaepernick. I recently sat down with Seals, the man on the Speaker podcast, for a very insightful conversation. And the question was raised: how do societal expectations and stereotypes about masculinity impact the way Black men approach relationships and seek support in their health? Also, what are some of the unique challenges that Black men face in navigating relationships and expressing emotions in today's society? And during that conversation, Seals, the man, he joined me as we curated a very thought-provoking discussion with his stories, his perspective on these questions and other topics and issues. This episode is now streaming. It's called Changes on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Pandora, and other streaming services. Be sure to hit that notification bell and subscribe. You can follow us on YouTube under Camille, Essick, or The Speaker Podcast, and on Facebook at The Speaker Podcast. Now, here's a look at local weather. If you are in the Metro Charlotte, North Carolina area, today it is cloudy with a high of 66 and a low of 57. High of 66, low of 54. Sunday will be a high of 60, low of 35. It will be sunny. And then Monday, cloudy with a high of 63 and a low of 34. Now, if you're in the Metro Atlanta area, today will be sunny with a high of 68 degrees and a low of 49. Sunday, which is Palm Sunday, as we begin Holy Week, will be a high of 66 degrees and a low of 40. And then on Monday will be cloudy with a high of 62 and a low of 43 degrees. If you're in the DMV Baltimore area, currently it is raining, y'all. The high today will be 53 degrees with a low of 34. That way, rain will continue throughout the day, peaking out with the ultimate low of 34 degrees. On Sunday, the high will be 51 degrees, sunny, but the low of 29. And then Monday, a tad bit warmer than Sunday with a high of 56 degrees and a low of 31. Off to Virginia Beach and the DMV area still. Today will be cloudy with a high of 67 degrees and a low of 46. Then continue on. Tomorrow will be very breezy. So if you're crossing any of those bridges like to Hampton or to Chesapeake, be mindful of the wind conditions with a high of 52 degrees and a low of 36. Breeze and wind continue on Monday with a high of 55 degrees and a low of 40. Now, if you're in the upper East Coast in New York, today it is currently raining with a high of 53 and a low of 35. Tomorrow will be sunny with a high of 47, low of 30. Monday, high of 54, low of 33 degrees. Now off to the south of us in Key West. Today it is gorgeous, but a little windy. with rain coming in and with a high of 77 later on, 80% chance of rain and low of 70. Then it will clear out with sunny skies on tomorrow, which is Sunday, with a high of 75 degrees and a low of 70. And then on Monday, picking back up with the wind, warmer weather, but a high of 77 and a low of 73 degrees. Down in the Caribbean, gorgeous San Juan. Today will be sunny with a high of 87 degrees. Oh, that sounds so good. Low of 73. Sunday, the same. High of 87 degrees, a low of 74 degrees, and a little bit of rain coming in on Monday. And if you've ever been to Puerto Rico, you know the rain doesn't last long. So the high will be 86 degrees and a low of 74. And that is a 45% chance of rain. In Nashville, Tennessee, today will be mostly sunny with a high of 57 degrees and a low of 40. Sunday, partly sunny with a high of 68, low of 34. And Monday, cloudy with a low of 48 degrees. Off to the Midwest in Chicago, it is a little cool today up there in the Great Lakes area. High of 36 degrees, low of 30. Monday will be a high of 59 degrees, rainy, 45% chance of rain, low of 42. And then on Tuesday, that rain will continue with a high of 56 and a low of 39 degrees. Off to the West Coast, there in Oakland, California, it will be mostly cloudy with a high of 56 degrees and a low of 50. Tomorrow will be partly sunny with a high of 61 and a low of 48. And then on Monday, cloudy, high of 58, low of 48 degrees. As we go a little bit further down the coast, there in LA, currently it is raining with a high of 63 and a low of 41. And that is a 65% chance of rain, folks. Sunday will be partly sunny with a high of 62, low of 47. And then on Monday, sunny, high of 65 and a low of 47 degrees. And this has been brought to you by the Weather Channel. The Speaker Podcast, I cannot believe, y'all, that March has flown by. We are closing out the month. We're going to sit down with the fellas. They are the hosts of the Let's Rap podcast. That episode go live. We'll go live on Facebook and YouTube on Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then after that, for the month of April, our guests will be returning, our brother and friends, Derek D. Ross, Whitney McDaniel, also known as Whitney Victoria, Rashonda Pratt, and we're closing out the month with Deshaun Gales. These are conversations you do not want to miss. Be sure to hit that notification bell and subscribe. Follow us on YouTube, also on Facebook, and follow me on Instagram at Camille.Essick. I really appreciate everyone tuning in and catching these episodes. If you're listening to the replay or watching our lives and replays on YouTube, I really want to say thank you so much, and I really appreciate that. If there's a conversation, a topic that you think we should cover, please let us know by sending us an email at thespeakerpodcast@gmail.com. I hope to hear from you all again very soon. And stay up on the loop by hitting that notification bell and subscribe. Thank you for tuning in. This has been your weekly rewind, also known as the Reverb, on the Speaker Podcast. This is your host, Camille Essick, and this is the podcast where innovators and creators connect. Be blessed, and I'll see you all or hear from you again on the next one. Talk to you later. Be blessed. Peace.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Speaker Podcast. Be sure to follow Camille on Instagram at Camille.Essick, Facebook at the Speaker Podcast, or www.CamilleEssick.com.